Hi, this is Gregory, and I wanted to share a little bit of a video today. So, going back to January of 2024, I published this article both on LinkedIn and on Medium, and it has been very well received. It's called The Emotional Roller Coaster of Grief and Growth in AI Driven Change. So, essentially, this article walks us through the five stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance, and compares it to when any change or technological change is thrust down upon an organization. In this case, it is generative AI. And what I wanted to do with this was actually create a prompt, which I have included here in this Google document here, and turn that prompt into a small tool within Claude, which is pretty easy to do. So the prompt here took me about 10 minutes to create. Very simply, I'd like to create a tool to apply the five stages of grief. The tool will accept input in a tabular format that includes X, Y, and Z. The result is what I would like here is a polar chart, which is also known as a radar chart. And then I give it some instructions of how I would like it to act or react when it's being used. Below here, I've just faked some data for 15 different people, 2 different organizations related to each of the five stages of grief. And what I will do here is go ahead and select my text and copy it. And let's go back into Claude here. One thing I'll note is I am using the newest model of Claude Sonnet 3.5. I will also note that if I remember correctly within Claude, you must have artifacts enabled, which you can find somewhere within your settings. So we'll go ahead and start a new project, and I will simply paste in this prompt that I created, and we will go ahead and click on go. So the prompt that I created, don't get me wrong, I tested it a few times to see if it was working properly, but it took me no more than 10 minutes to create. Okay. Couple of things I'll note here is number one, I know nothing about coding. I've never wanted to know anything about coding. I have very specifically stayed away from learning coding. It's just not something that is of interest to me. One other thing I'll mention here is as you look at the code, which I'll say clearly I don't understand, but you'll see right here selected organizations and in a couple of other places when you look at the code itself in a light gray color. It's also providing you some notes here, transforms data for the radar chart, etc. So it's a at least what I think is probably a fairly well done code. And the result is this. So specifically, I had said from the data, we had different organizations and different individuals that I would like to be able to multi-select these people or organizations and be able to see it in the form of a radar chart. And in this case, let's go ahead and we can compare marketing to the average, and we see that it labels it nicely here. It shows us what it looks like. We can also deselect that, and let's select 3 individuals, and we'll compare each of them against each other. Each one is done in a different color. You can see that the color is highlighted down here to show you which person is which person, and the average is always shown here. Now, I share this because this is something that can be very useful when you are implementing any change, to be able to see where the folks inside of your team, inside of your organization, your stakeholders sit within the 5 stages of grief, to see who you need to bring along in different ways. In this case, you can see, I think it is either Audrey or Katie, or maybe both of them, are both in this depression stage related to the implementation of AI. And there are different strategies from change management, from your own experience, that you can use to help bring them closer to the middle here. So a 0-0 is going to be a perfect score to drive everybody along and to bring them forward. So I hope that this was helpful, not only from the perspective of using AI to create tools that help you, that allow you to move forward, but also from introducing the article and the ability to use a well-known technique related to the 5 stages of grief to evaluate your stakeholders in anything that you are trying to drive change in. So, again, I hope this was useful. I hope you have a great day. And remember, AI is 10% technology and 90% people. Thank you so much.